If you're listening to this and you're riding a green Schwinn bicycle with a rusted chain and a green water bottle, you stole my bike, you fucking thief! I want it back! What is up, everybody? Welcome to Whatever with Jason Soto, the comedy podcast that is entirely safe for work if you work in an adult video store. I am your host, Jason Soto. Hello, everybody. We are back. I am joined by my third favorite person named Bear after Bear Grylls and Bear McCreary. It's Bear. Hi, Bear.
Hi, Jason. You know, you're like my least favorite person named Jason. I'm not even going to try and be creative with it. That's gonna be my insult. Originally, I was gonna say something about the bike situation and call you poor, but
man, making fun of me while I'm down.
We need Lisa here to.
Well, speaking of, our pal Lisa Sally Haynes just had an itching to go to Atlantic City again.
Yep.
And she just had to go gamble some more, so she couldn't be here, unfortunately.
She's really into blackjack right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully she'll be back next week. So until then, it's just Bear and I. But we do have a wonderful show lined up. We got a lot of awesome stuff to talk about. We went on an adventure together. We're going to get into all that.
We did.
But first, Bear, you like to be paid, right? Because you do stuff for me.
I love to be paid, yeah.
And you like it when I give you money. So
this is starting to sound a little sketchy, but yeah.
Anytime that I'm able to get the money, I have to do this to get the money to give to you. All the shows we do here at Rabbit Hole Podcast are sponsored by Audible. You can go to audibletrial.com/rabbithole-pods. You get to try it absolutely free for 30 days. You can download any audiobook, original show, or podcast that you want. When the 30 days is up, you just pay a simple $14.99 a month, and you get to access more audiobooks, original shows, or podcasts. If for whatever reason you want to cancel this isn't your jam, you're tired of it, you hate Jeff Bezos, maybe you were married to him, I don't know what your situation was, you can cancel it anytime. And if you do cancel it, anything you've downloaded, anything you got for free, anything you paid for, that is yours to keep for the rest of your life. No one can take that away from you. You may be homeless, living in a cardboard box, but you will have your audiobooks from Audible, goddammit. So, audibletrial.com/rabbithole-pods. Using that link helps us out here at Rabbit Hole Podcast, as I said. Helps me pay Bear for all their awesome services. I didn't mean to make that sound scandalous, but you know.
Yeah. You know, we already had this discussion once about how you pay your prostitutes. Do you really want to do that again?
$30 is enough, I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Telling you. $30 is enough.
That's why whenever I worry that I have gonorrhea, I call Jason and say, hey, what does this look like? Because I can trust with his $30 prostitutes, he knows all about it.
I don't
know why I read that like I was doing an ad read there at the end.
Now Bear is here for gonorrhea. Bear, what do you got to say about gonorrhea?
You know what, Jason? I'm so glad that you asked. Really innovative stuff, you know. I just love the direction they're taking the company. It's a great baby name. There he goes, little Gonorrhea McGee.
Gonorrhea McGee. Gonorrhea. Oh, wait until Gonorrhea McGee grows up to be president. Do you, Gonorrhea McGee, promise to honor the Constitution?
He goes by Gon, actually.
Anyway, this is an interesting segue because now we're going to talk about Run P.
Hey, speaking of...
Hey, you're listening to this on a Monday. Patreons get it early. I'll get to the Patreons in a bit, but you're listening to this on a Monday. This past Saturday, I have in the past future.
We're killing it today, man. We are on it.
Because like when the people are listening to this, it's the future, but it hasn't happened for us yet. So I don't know how to say this. Anyway,
I've written this down.
I'm gonna go see Oppenheimer in theaters. And I don't know if you knew this or not, Bear, but Oppenheimer's a 3-hour movie.
I did. I did.
And so I have a bladder the size of this can.
He does, can confirm.
And so I have to go to the bathroom about every 45 minutes or so because
Yep.
I drink a lot of water and soda and stuff. So I don't want to miss the scene in Oppenheimer when he drops the bomb in the desert.
And says it's Oppen time.
That's he says it's Oppen time. Yeah. It's the important scene of the movie, so I don't want to miss that. So how can I track when that scene's going to happen? What do you think, Bear? How do you think I can track the scene?
You could learn to get a bigger bladder.
I can learn to get a bigger bladder, or I can go download the RunPee app today, right now. Actually, I have it on my phone already.
I also have it on my phone.
The app will tell you what movies are out in theaters. You pick the movie that you're seeing, and they give you a good rundown of when during the movie is a good time to get up to use the bathroom. If you want to just get a refill, get a snack, you need to stretch your legs. It's a 3-hour movie. And it tells you when you don't miss anything important. And then there's a countdown to when the important stuff starts happening again. So it's a very cool app. We had the designer of the app on this very show. He's very fucking cool. Dan is amazing.
Cool. Dan, if you're listening, come back sometime.
Yes, please. Yes, absolutely. He still talks about meeting Cocaine Bear in that episode. He was very excited to meet Cocaine Bear on that episode.
Yeah, Cocaine Bear was the best guest we've ever had. Too bad I wasn't here for it.
I know. I'm sorry.
I know. It's okay.
Maybe next time when Cocaine Bear 2 comes out, we'll have Cocaine Bear back. And you could be there for that. So go download RunPee today. It's an app. It's free to download, whether you have Android or iOS. And you can go check that out. So RunPee. Check it today. Okay. I know you got a thing you want to talk about. Before we get to your thing.
Yes.
I want to do this really quickly. Former President Barack Obama. I guess he does this every year. I never paid attention until this year. But this year, I guess every year he drops music that he's listening to and books that he's reading / read. I don't know what the tense is in the reading, if these are books he had read, or these are books he wants to read, or they're books he is currently reading. I don't know. I feel like though he's no longer president, he still doesn't have a lot of free time because he's got to go undo the things the last president did. So
yeah, these are the ones that he's reading right now. Like this is his list of books he wants to read.
Actually, let's do the books. Let's do the books first because I've not heard of any of these, and I don't know. Maybe you have. So I'm gonna just do the titles and the name of the author really quickly, and then if you have an opinion, you can just jump in. So starting with Poverty by America by Matthew Desmond. Small Mercies by Dennis Lehane. I've heard of Dennis Lehane before, but I don't think I've read that. King, A Life by Jonathan Egg. I think it's Egg. Hello, Beautiful by Anne Napolitano. Sorry. All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. Man, that's a title right there. All the Sinners Bleed. Actually, I want to look up that one. I want to see what that is.
That's one of the ones I do know. I think you'd like that one.
That is looks like it's a fiction book. Okay, it's fiction.
Yeah.
The other ones did not sound fiction.
One of them, just get to the end of the list and we'll talk about the list.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, All the Sinners Bleed. It looks interesting. Burnham Wood by Eleanor Catton. What Napoleon Could Not Do by D.K. Nero. The Wager by David Gran, and A Blue Hour by Tiffany Clark Harrison. I am not familiar with any of these.
So I know Poverty by America, Small Mercies, King, A Life, Hello Beautiful, All the Sinners Bleed, and What Napoleon Could Not Do. And I think I know Blue Hour, but not off the top of my head.
Okay.
But I know for sure Small Mercies, Hello Beautiful, All the Sinners Bleed and What Napoleon Could Not Do are actually all fiction.
Oh, okay.
But obviously Poverty by America, King of Life, those are nonfiction.
Okay.
I'm someone who checks this list every year. I'm not like, I mean, I like Obama, more than many people in American politics, but he's
Right.
not my favorite politician ever, and I don't really do that for any politicians. I don't like, I'm not ride or die for anyone like that. But I do check out his reading and music list every year because I think it's interesting. His reading list is usually more interesting to me than his music list, but
Yeah. I'm about to get to the music list in a second here.
yeah.
But
They're
okay.
very hymn books. They suit. They're all about like.
They all sound like stuff I can see him totally reading.
Yeah, the reason I said I think you'd like All the Sinners Bleed is because it's a like fiction crime mystery novel.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah.
That also kind of deals with like poverty.
Ah, okay. Yeah, there it goes. Okay.
Yeah, because of course he's not putting on just like.
Yeah, you couldn't have put like fucking like a book from Joe Hill or anything.
No.
The Stephen King's latest novel we couldn't have had on there.
No, it's Obama. He's got to keep it real.
I guess. So, all right. Well, those are the books he's picked. Let's go to his songs. So again, so there's a lot here. So I'm just going to do these really quickly.
Okay.
If you feel the need to interrupt me, you can, but I'm just going to do these really quickly. All right.
I was just going to say, don't even do them and have people look them up themselves, but
real quickly. So,
okay.
J Hus and Drake, Who Told You, SZA, Snooze, Pretenders, I'll Stand By You. That's interesting. Rosalia and Raw Alejandro.
Are you sure you're looking at the right year?
2023 playlist. Luke Combs, Fast Car, Tupac, Roger, and Dr. Dre, California Love. Okay, yeah. Leonard Cohen, Dance Me to the End of Love Live. Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, Nowhere to Run. No Big Deal, Parabolic. Georgia Smith, Try Me. Burna Boy, 21 Savage, Sitting on Top of the World. Janet Jackson, Got Till It's Gone. LaDanya, Penny Campan. The Bangles, Walk Like an Egyptian. The Beths, Watching the Credits. The War and Treaty, That's How Love Is Made. The Rolling Stones, Soul Survivor. Aretha Franklin, Dr. Feelgood, Love Is a Serious Business. John Coltrane, Blue Train. Ice Spice and Nicki Minaj, Princess Diana. That's a choice right there. I gotta stop for a second. That's a fucking choice right there, Obama. The hell? Toots and the Maytals, Funky Kingston, The Righteous Brothers, Unchained Melody. Okay. Golden Lady, Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder's name of the song, just not to confuse people. Jackson Brown, Doctor My Eyes, Aira Star, Stability, Boy Genius, Not Strong Enough, Otis Redding, Sitting on a Dock of the Bay, Bob Dylan, Everything Was Broken, Ella Fitzgerald, Cry Me a River, Young Lucas and Peso Pluma, La Bebe Remix, Money Man and Babyface Ray, Drums, Nas, The World Is Yours. Wow. Okay. Four Tops, Reach Out, I'll Be There, Pearl Jam, Just Breathe. I'll give you up to the Pearl Jam. Jacqueline, Tempted. Kalila, Contact, Marvin Gaye, Inner City Blues, Make Me Wanna Holler, Ike and Tina Turner, River Deep / Mountain High, Janelle Monáe, Only Have Eyes 42, Ashley McBryde, The Devil I Know, and Michael Kiwanuka, Love and Hate. Okay, so a lot of those songs, it seems like those should have been songs he might always have on a playlist every year, because it's not like there's a lot of new stuff on there.
He does this every year, and every year there's always like a few big surprising ones. I think my two big surprising ones this year were the Princess Diana with Ice Spice and
fuck?
That's on my list of most listened to songs of the month. Why it should not be on Barack Obama's.
The hell, Barack.
But then also Boy Genius being on there shocked me.
I'm not familiar with Boy Genius.
So have you heard of Phoebe Bridgers?
Yes.
Okay, she's part of Phoebe Bridgers, Jillian Baker, and Lucy Dacus. And It's just a group of them, but it's that type of music. Like it's sad girl indie music.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
so it's just kind of like that's on my like my music I listen to when I'm being like an edgy, like sad, depressed college student. Like I'm like, yeah, time to turn on some Boy Genius. I'm really in it today. Like why? Like I don't want to share sad music. I want to share my crying music with
the former president of the United States.
President. The only one I'd like to do that with is Jimmy Carter.
Hey, Jimmy Carter, check out Ice Spice and Nicki Minaj, Princess Diana.
Jimmy Carter, I have some song racks for you. And it's just like a whole list of Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, there's some interesting choices on here. At least the ones that I know that I can just tell off by the name. And, he's got a lot of older songs on here. Like, like you think Otis Redding, like you think like the first time he did this list, that would have been like, yeah, of course, I'm going to have Otis Redding on my list. Like I feel like that's like a very obvious choice for him to be doing that now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, I don't know how these lists work that he does. Maybe he switches songs in and out, but basically keeps them the same every year. I don't know how that works.
Every year is a different list.
Okay, well then, I don't know. He was really feeling sitting on the dock of the bay this year then, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's not like a playlist that he just has. Like he posts you're probably looking at like screenshots right now of if it's like he literally just posts like a picture that lists all of the songs.
Oh, okay.
Every year. And every year it's like a different thing. It's what he's listening to this summer.
All right. But it's some interesting choices in here. A lot of, I still can't get over the Ice Spice one. That's just fucking.
Yeah. There's usually
weird.
one like that every year. He had Mitski on there one year.
I don't know who that is.
Dude, we gotta get you into like some little indie stuff.
Nah, I'm good. So you listeners out there, what do you think about Barack Obama's book and music list? You should let us know. Whatever jasonsoto@gmail.com. Write us in.
Yeah, please write in. And then Lisa can also give her opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. She could listen to this while she's on the blackjack table.
You know she's not going to.
I'm going to make her.
Lisa and I come from the same genre where neither of us listen to podcasts, but we're both on a lot of podcasts. Like we have pretty significant portions of our lives are based on podcasting, but neither of us like podcasts.
The only person in Rabbit Hole Podcast who listens to podcasts is Bubba Wheat.
That's true.
I have 15 people on this network, and only me and Bubba Wheat are the only two in this network. This entire network.
Wait. I've listened to Night Vale. Like I listened to Welcome to Night Vale, and I listened to Distractible with Markiplier. Which is so funny.
So two and a half.
Funny podcast.
So 2.5.
Listen to
2.5 people on the network listen to podcasts that I chose myself. I went to these people and I was like, "Hey, do you want to do podcasts for me?" And they're like, "Sure, Jason. We don't listen to them." And I'm like, "Okay." That's how that conversation worked times 15. Well,
I also listen to the HPL, I listen to HP Podcraft. So.
All right. Well, anyway.
It's topical to Eons, but that's about it.
Topical to Eons. All right.
I also listen to Eons when I inflate my own views.
Oh, that's true.
Kidding. I don't do that. I'm not scummy.
That's why we're the number one. That's why that's the number one podcast.
Yeah.
I definitely all of the hits come from a certain college in Indiana. That's so weird.
Yeah, everything coming from Hanover College. From the same IP address. Crazy
everything.
Coincidence.
Man, it's so weird. You should get a VPN.
Same device.
Hey, any VPN networks want to sponsor us? Hit us up. We could use one.
That way we can artificially inflate our own views.
Exactly.
And then we can get more sponsorships.
Exactly, yes. Okay, Bear, you came to me, earlier this week, and then this is the thing you mentioned last week, but you said you wanted to talk a bit more about something. So, I will hand the floor off to you. What is this very important thing you wanted to talk about? And if it's gonorrhea, we've already had that conversation.
This is true. So I am tired of being the only one in rabbit hole and kind of in my life to know of ongoing internet drama, because clearly it is the most important thing happening in anyone's life. So because of that, we're going to run through Colleen Ballinger and all the drama associated with her, so that way I can finally get Jason on the same page. So when I say, did you know that her dad had an inflation fetish playlist on YouTube called Want, he'll know what I'm talking about and will have the full context to know why that's extra weird.
So first and foremost, tell people who the hell this is.
Yes. So very kind of like 2014 YouTube. There is a really popular YouTuber who goes by Miranda Sings, and it's this persona made by a woman named Colleen Ballinger, and she's kind of a stereotype of a bad performer who thinks she's good. Like, think about in American Idol, you get those people who come in and they're very confident. And they sing, and it's, you know, then who was on that show? Nicki Minaj is hiding her face laughing at this person, you know.
Not quite, but okay. I'll let you have that one.
Nicki Minaj was on American Idol
that I'm aware of. Katy Perry is. Paula Abdul was at one point. Lionel Richie.
We're getting to the bottom of this because I'm looking it up, because I swear to God I just saw her in a clip on American Idol.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna pause. It's possible she was on an American Idol in a different country.
She was in American Idol.
Like the American version of American Idol?
Yes.
When the fuck did that happen?
She was on season 12 with Randy Jackson, Mariah Carey, and
as a regular judge, not a guest judge.
Yes, as a regular judge. It was her, Randy Jackson, Mariah Carey, and Keith Urban.
The fuck? Okay. That was a weird timeline I was not a part of, but okay.
Pop off. I'm always right. You know this by now. You're forgetting my huge, gigantic brain that holds nothing but the vaguest of pop culture references.
Okay, become a Patreon member where I upload receipts proving Bear wrong.
Become a Patreon member to support me and having to put up with being told I'm wrong. First of all, by a man. Second of all, when I'm right. Anyway, Miranda Sings is this kind of like stereotypical bad performer, and she's very puritanical. Like, if she sees like people wearing tank tops, she calls them whores, kind of thing.
Okay.
So this character, it is really hard to kind of explain to people how ubiquitous Miranda Sings was during that time. I was not a fan of her. I never really liked her content. It just wasn't my thing. I was much more into like video game YouTube.
Okay.
But I still knew like everything about this character because she was everywhere. She even got her own Netflix show called Haters Back Off that lasted like 2 seasons, which is a long time for a Netflix show.
That I remember. I remember that happening because she was on Jimmy Fallon promoting that. And I didn't know who the fuck she was back then.
Yeah, so she was on Jimmy Fallon like twice for different things, and she also she was in YouTube Rewind every year that they had YouTube like
probably one of the people that I didn't know whenever they popped up on the screen. So I was just like, who the fuck is this?
She had a really big audience of kind of like young teenagers.
So her whole thing, it sounds like, was I'm gonna purposely be annoying.
Yeah, it's a very annoying character. That's why I didn't like it.
Which was a thing in YouTube because, for the listener, not for you, but for the listeners, I remember a character named Annoying Orange. There was a character called Fred, who spoke in this weird, like, chipmunky voice. And
I loved Fred.
So he was just super fucking annoying, and I just wanted to fucking burn my computer.
We're not going to shit talk Fred. Okay.
Oh, I'm shit talking Fred because
I was the age to watch Fred though. That I was like
when he was popular, YouTube was at like the beginning. And so that was when they were like really promoting like every video that was.
He also got a Nickelodeon show.
Okay, good for him. And he was annoying on that too, and I refuse to watch
Anyway,
that.
can I do my thing? Every time I have a bit, you interrupt it.
I'm sorry. What's the name of the show again? Let me look at the title. What's the title say on this little card here? Oh,
It's
whatever with
called
Jason Soto. Wow, that's amazing.
it's
Now,
called
which one of
whatever
us has
in a
an
who
ID
cares way.
card that says Jason Soto in their wallet right now? So,
Me, I stole your wallet.
we'll enjoy the 7 cents that's in there.
Yeah, it's no problem. That's how much you pay me anyways. So Colleen Ballinger very much had this audience of children who she interacted with a lot. Like she was really well known for interacting with her audience.
Okay.
Obviously, generally that's a good thing online when your audience is all children. It starts to get a little weird. But a few years ago, like height of COVID, one of her former fans came out and said, "Hey, I used to be really cool with Colleen. She let me log into her Twitter and post from her Twitter as like an unpaid social media intern. And she actually at one point got in huge trouble, not trouble, I guess, but controversy because it was like coming like Pride Month and she posted something that was like a coming out announcement. And then it was her coming out as a Mariah Carey fan. And at the time, it kind of got backlash because people were like, well, that's a stupid joke and also kind of queer baity. But she
It is a
said
stupid joke, but yeah,
it
yeah.
is a stupid joke. But she at the time was like, sorry, that was, like, I apologize for it. And she completely cut this guy off who she let run her Twitter account. And he had like run it by her multiple times. So he put a video out on YouTube explaining this, kind of saying Colleen's not a great person. He had this really close access to her that a fan, like an underage fan, he was 17 at the time, really shouldn't. Because I don't know about you, I wouldn't if we had like a teenage fan of the show, I wouldn't be like, hey, 16-year-old, you want to run our Twitter? That's
No,
weird.
I don't think I would do that. No.
So, it comes out kind of now that she had this whole group chat called Colleen's Weenies of like some young adults, but mostly teenagers and these big names in her fandom, where she would ask them really inappropriate stuff. Like, she asked someone like if he was a virgin and what his favorite position was when he was like 14 or 15. She would obviously have them do this free labor. I think I talked about this last week, but she had a thing where she was having them like put a tampon in their mouth and record it as like a joke, as like a funny bit, but I don't.
That was the whole bit was just putting the tampon in the mouth. Yeah. Like there was no payoff or punchline. It was just, hey, put this tampon in your mouth.
Yeah, and you had to like press it in. So, and it was stuff like that, and she had this kind of, it came out, she had sent nude Trisha Paytas, if people know who she is. She has done a lot of like kind of like convert, like she's not a great person. But she does some sex work, and Colleen Ballinger sent her nudes to minors and made fun of them.
Okay, wait. So this Patricia lady had nudes, and Colleen sent those nudes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't
to minors. Yeah, and made fun of them
in that group chat that you mentioned.
I don't remember if it was that group chat exactly, but I think it was.
Because I don't know what she's trying to do with that. Like, why are you doing really this?
Mean. This same lady, Trisha, they had a podcast together that lasted like 3 episodes before all this drama came out. And Colleen, when they were first starting recording, gave Trisha the wrong address just to make fun of Trisha for going to the wrong house.
To be fair, that'd be a thing you would do. I'm totally kidding.
It is not.
I'm joking. I was a joke. That was me making a joke. That was me making a joke.
Being like, hey, Lackey, you should go to this address, and it's like 4 houses down, and then laugh at him being confused when I'm not at the door.
I was
like, it's just a very mean-spirited thing to do to someone. I know,
but I'm saying, no, I get it. I get it. Yeah.
And other stuff like that. Like she would in this group chat, if she didn't like someone in their like little private fan group chat, she would talk shit about them behind their back. And this is, a grown adult woman, and she would talk to this group chat, these children, about her divorce. So people start coming out with this and saying, like, she kind of groomed people, not necessarily in a sexual way, but in a inappropriate relationship way. And there's obviously a lot more to look into there for people who want to go do that. But this all comes out, and she's starting to face backlash. She's on tour right now. And so her tour, so stuff started coming out about her tours. Like, one girl, she kind of forcibly exposed this girl. Like, she had, like, held her legs open when she was wearing a skirt on stage as part of, like, a bit, like a yoga bit. But then this girl was, like, flashed to an audience of people, which is obviously very traumatizing because she's, like, 15. And all this other stuff kind of comes out about her tour. And so she's on tour, stuff is going down. So at the height of all this, Colleen releases a 10-minute long YouTube video.
Yes.
Called Hi.
This is where I come in because I've seen this everywhere.
And the song is about the toxic gossip train and about how her lawyers told her, you shouldn't be responding to these because Colleen does have children now. So if she's found wrong of doing anything involving children, even if it's not like sexual grooming, like she could lose her kids. So her legal team told her, don't respond to these. We'll figure it out. Because also some of these allegations were related to people around her, like her best friend, who also had a separate group chat with a bunch of her fans. It's coming out kind of now her ex-husband was a little bit weird. Her current husband's a little bit weird.
Was she married anyone famous, or was it just like a regular guy or a YouTuber or something?
Her first husband was kind of a regular-ish dude. Her current husband, actually, when she started filming her show, it was right after her and her ex-husband got married. And that it's really commonly thought that she started cheating with her co-host of Haters Back Off.
Oh, okay.
And they ended up getting divorced because there's like a video of them at their anniversary, and she wrote him a song called Josh's Blue Eyes, and then later it came out that he's actually Hazel. As been the most recent. She wrote him a whole song, and he looks so mad during the whole thing.
Okay, I'm sorry. I gotta make this reference because it just reminded me of something. You don't watch The Office, so hi, people who watch The Office. Did that not remind you of the episode called Dinner Party when they're all just sitting around, and then Jan puts on the CD that this kid made, and the kid is clearly singing a song about Jan, and everyone realizes it but Michael and Jan. That's just completely what that reminded me of.
Okay, right now she's married to Eric Stocklin.
No idea who that is.
Is his name. He's an actor, but I also don't know him from anything.
I've not heard of that name before.
But so, she posts this video about this toxic gossip train about how her PR team says, hey, don't respond to these allegations. And so she was going to sing a song about it instead because it's not like speaking air quotes about it.
Yep. Loopholes. You gotta love them.
She talks about I used to overshare in my DMs with fans and that was inappropriate, but I was just an awkward person. And she even says in it, she's like, the only things I've ever groomed are my 3 Persian cats. And it's like, if I got accused of any misgiving with children, if someone said, I think you groomed a teenager, my response would never, ever in my entire life be to write a song about it. And this song is to the same tune as Josh's Blue Eyes.
No, really?
Yeah, it's like...
Now that, I didn't know the song, but wow.
I'll show you it at some point when we see each other in person.
Okay.
So just so you can hear it, but it is the exact same tune.
Holy shit. Okay.
So...
all right.
So everyone around her is, like, her ex is like, wow, that's shitty. Like, it might be the worst YouTube response video. Apology.
Yeah.
It definitely beats, like, Like, fuck James Charles. It beats James Charles.
All right. Watch Mojo, if you're listening and or watching this, we need a top 10 list of the worst YouTuber apology videos. I'm sure there's more than 10, so you're going to have lots to choose from.
Honestly, as you say that, I watch Mojo style video. It's like flipping through my mind right now. And they're like the logos.
Number 10.
It's like
number 10.
Yeah, and it's like just cutting through a bunch of crying clips.
And then I'm trying to think of, I can't think of anyone else besides, well, I can say Gus Johnson, but
after she put out this video, a former employee from Haters Back Off said that like Colleen very explicitly wanted to limit the number of non-white extras on the filming of Haters Back Off because she said they'd be distracting.
No. Here we go. Okay.
In a show that takes place in Washington, because apparently black people don't live in Washington state. And she also says that they turned an Asian grocery store into what Colleen called a normal one, and that she said that like she wanted all that Asian shit. I'm using air quotes for podcast listeners. I forget we don't just do these on YouTube anymore. But she said she wanted the Asian ship out. Oh my goodness.
Asian shit
out of the grocery store.
Okay. All right.
But
okay, hang on. I don't think she's right for what she did. I don't want to stress this. She sort of has a point with the no black people in Washington state because I'm not saying it's not necessarily true, but think about it for 1 second. If I were to ask anybody on the street to name one of the whitest states in the country, Washington State will probably be top 5.
Utah.
That's probably number 1. Then like Montana, maybe Wyoming, and then I'd say Washington State. Because when you think of Seattle, what comes to mind? And again, I'm not defending her. I'm not defending her. I wanted to say.
But it's also a TV show, and it really didn't matter. And she also tried to.
This is a fair point.
Like, I only cast those who are best for the role, which is like the excuse of excuses in that regard.
Okay, think of it like this.
Your extras, you're not casting extras in the same way that you're casting your main cast.
Okay, so think of it like this. People give Friends a lot of shit because there's no black people on the show or in the background. And that's New York City.
Yeah.
So that's like going the other end. So in a way, it's like, okay, she set her show in Washington State. And the thing is, I get where she's coming from with that, but she probably didn't have to do that.
There's no way she thought that through like that. That's not how anyone's mind works. And also, it's not like a show that's supposed to be literal to Washington.
I guess.
It's not like a documentary.
Okay. All right. I'm just saying.
There's no defense for the Asian grocery store.
That's bullshit. I'm not defending her. I'm just saying, like, I can play devil's advocate on that one because I can kind of see, like, you know.
Okay, but the thing is, the devil does not need an advocate. She obviously can advocate for herself in the form of a 10-minute YouTube video where she plays fucking ukulele.
About some guy's eyes.
But
all right. Well, okay. I did not know a lot of that.
Yeah, there's some more, but I suggest people go look into it. She also, it's not super confirmed, but the song did get copyright striked on YouTube for a few days. But her legal team says it wasn't her at all. But her legal team did send a cease and desist letter to H3, because H3 does a podcast, Ethan Klein. And in it, he was talking about how, you know, her song got their video copyright striked. But he was even saying that he didn't think it was her. He thought it was just claimed by someone else trying to make a joke. And then her legal team sent him a cease and desist about talking about the issue. So, you know, lots happening. It's very clear her lawyers are trying to see what's coming out in the media about her. But
yeah.
They still they haven't denied the other allegations, which implies it's true. Doesn't mean it's true. Allegedly.
No. Yeah.
Here. I'm gonna put a big slap on this whole segment called Bear's Feelings on Colleen Ballinger, alleged. If Colleen Ballinger's lawyers caught
Allegedly.
this from the
Allegedly.
SEO.
Well, as long as I don't play the song on YouTube, we'll be able.
Can we make the title of this episode? Oh no, I know what the title of this episode is going to be already. Never mind.
Yeah, I sent it to you already.
Subtitle allegedly.
Allegedly. Okay, yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And see what's I don't know if I should say this.
I mean, go ahead. If it's bad enough, we'll just take it out.
No, okay. Yeah, this one, everyone at home's like, whoa, this must be really bad if Jason doesn't want to say it.
Yeah, I know. Even I'm kind of like, holy shit.
It's a little, I'll word it a different way. It's a little refreshing to have like a woman in trouble for this stuff. Cause like 99% of the time, it's like a man.
She is in trouble for it, but also so is both of her husbands, her brother, and her male best friend.
Oh no, okay. So
yeah, she's at the center of this, but they all took advantage. I guess also her dad, if you count the YouTube playlist.
Oh yeah, the YouTube playlist thing.
But I don't know if I don't really count.
Is that playlist still available?
No, it got made private a few hours later. You know, he was probably on the phone with her too, like, how do I make it private? I'm not even, that's not like morally wrong. It's more just embarrassing for him.
Yeah.
And like funny for us to laugh at. Like, I keep saying want as a joke in reference to that playlist because that was the title of it. Also, like, go watch your porn on a porn site like the rest of us.
Yeah, that's a little.
Why are you watching it on YouTube?
That's a little disconcerting. Okay, yeah, I didn't know any of that. I remembered when she was on Jimmy Fallon to promote the Netflix show. I didn't know who the hell the character was. She even did a thing on Jimmy Fallon where she transformed into the character.
And she does that at her stage shows too.
And I of course I have Netflix, so of course I saw the show pop up on Netflix. Never watched it. I had no desire to watch it.
Nope.
It just, I mean, this is back when it was new. I was just like, just looks annoying.
You know this. I know like her entire family history, her whole life now. I had no interest in this woman until like 2 weeks ago. But if anyone wants more knowledge, information on it, H3's podcast has been covering her the past few weeks.
Oh God. Like repeatedly?
When something happens. They're pretty good about not content milky. I'm guessing you don't know that much about H3, Jason.
I don't, not at all.
He gets involved in a lot of lawsuits on the internet. Normally, if there's like two people fighting on the internet, in some way, H3 has a stake in that game. That's why I respect him so much. He's also Jewish, so.
Okay, yeah, no, I have no idea who that is. But okay, that's interesting. Wow. So fuck her, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm curious what's gonna happen. I'm guessing nothing like in a legal stance like has happened, like she's not been sued or been arrested or whatever. Is her YouTube channel still up?
Yeah, all of her YouTube channels are still up.
Okay.
She is still denying wrongdoing, and her best friend and current husband are really, really, really tacked down that she's not doing anything wrong.
Okay. I mean, of course.
Which just looks more suspicious than anything. It doesn't make her look more innocent for the other people accused of grooming to be like, she's not a groomer.
Okay. Morality question for you.
Okay.
I get in trouble for something like this. What do you think other rabbit hole people will do?
I think it depends on if there's proof. Colleen Ballinger, there's screenshots upon screenshots upon screenshots of proof of these things happening.
Okay.
And video evidence, of her live shows. So with her, you can pretty definitively say she's in the wrong. And she's also so ridiculously famous that there's no reason.
Oh, you really had to tag that in, didn't you? Like, no, she's famous. No, you, whatever. It's just going, whatever about you. No, she's famous.
Listen, you're famous comedian Jason Soto.
I am. I am.
but she's Colleen Ballinger. Um, I guess if it would depend. Does this person would you have actually done it?
Okay, I guess I didn't think too deep into the question. Okay. Let's say you guys aren't sure. Like you hear like one person comes out, like someone in my past that you guys don't know. And they're like, this host of whatever with Jason Soto, you know, I don't want to say anything super bad. It's
Would you
like
deny doing it?
he kept me handcuffed to a bed for 48 hours. Let's just say that.
Holy shit.
Why do they want to go too bad? The person's still alive.
Okay.
What, did you want me to go to the extreme? Is that what you wanted me to do? Like, damn, no, I'm not
that's
trying to
still
go to the extreme.
though.
Is it?
Handcuffed to a bed for 2 days?
But I let them go, and they're...
Okay, I guess if they're able to say, look, these are the pictures of the handcuff marks, I'd be like, oh, no.
Okay, so it basically just boils down to proof.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if someone says that and they have nothing, I might talk to you one on man to man and be like, Jason, be so real with me. Did you do this?
Okay.
But if I believe that you didn't, I would defend you.
Okay. Cool.
But if they were able to provide screenshots upon screenshots and video footage of you leaving the house for 48 hours with them inside of it, I would be like, man, fuck that Jason Soto guy.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be whatever with Bear.
And Lisa.
With Bear and Lisa, because we have to keep the correct number of syllables.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, interesting. Well, for the record, I did not handcuff anyone to a bed for 48 hours. It was only 24. Anyway, that's it on that. So with that said, Bear, what time is it?
10:05.
Exactly!
Can you say 10:05 in the same way you say it's time for the mixtape?
It's 10:05!
Thanks.
For anyone new to the show, the mixtape, the segment of the show where each week, me, my co-hosts, we add songs to the to this big giant mixtape I'm making on Spotify. I always forget to drop the link to the mixtape in the show notes, so I will try to remember to do that this week. Right now we're at easily almost 300 songs on this mixtape. So I kind of know what your pick is. It's related to the story that we're about to tell after the mixtape. Is that not accurate?
Yeah. So, I spent a long time thinking about what song I wanted to do because there were a few options.
Yeah.
I could have gone with my favorite Fall Out Boy song, Head First Slide into Cooperstown on a Bad Bet.
Mm-hmm.
I could have done a different Fall Out Boy song that, like, I think needs more attention, like Super Fade. But instead, I'm going to be going with a song from my favorite Fall Out Boy album, Pax AM Days. The album was released same time as Save Rock and Roll, like a few months later, and got super overshadowed, and is probably their least famous album ever. Most people don't even know it exists. But I'm going to pick Caffeine Cold from Pax AM Days as my mixtape pick for this week.
Okay. So yeah, our story that's coming up after the break is Fall Out Boy related. And I gotta tell you, Bear, I haven't really talked to you off and on this week this much, like only a couple days.
I just heard a new job.
I have had Fall Out Boy songs in my head all week. Like
Me
different
too.
ones will pop in. Just, depending on the hour and the day, I just have different, like, I'm just like walking around at work, like, this ain't a scene, it's a goddamn, like, I'm just walking to work singing that.
That's just my life every day.
So I am not putting a Fall Out Boy song on the mixtape because A, I figured you would, and B, I didn't want to be super redundant because we're about to talk about it. So instead, I'm gonna go kind of, very, very similarly in the same vein of Fall Out Boy. This band is a one-hit wonder. Song came out in like the year 2000, maybe 2001. The name of the band is called 9 Days, and the song is called Absolutely, and then parentheses, Story of a Girl. This was basically this band's only hit. For those of you who watch on YouTube, there's a YouTuber named Todd in the Shadows. He's got a show called One Hit Wonderland. He did an episode on these guys and this song, and it's actually fascinating because it's kind of questionable if this is like a Christian band. This song is very much not a Christian song. But if you look at their other like songs that they've had on albums, there could be an argument made that they could be a Christian band. I recommend checking that out. But yeah, that's my pick for this week. 9 Days, absolutely, Story of a Girl. And you may be like, that song sounds familiar. When you hear it, you're gonna be like, oh, that fucking song. Yeah, I remember that fucking song. Yeah, it was everywhere in 2000 and or 2001.
I won't know it.
You might. I'll play it for you, like just a sample, and you might know it. We're gonna take a break, and when we come back, Bear and I had an adventure to go see Fall Out Boy, and it was an adventure. Let me tell you, my friends, it was an adventure. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Lisa Leahy, and I'm the host of Pictures and Conversations, a rabbit hole book club. Each month on the 20th, I'm joined by a group of fellow book lovers, and we discuss a book in our typically nerdy fashion.
As we continue to not talk about the book that we're not supposed to talk about. Anyway.
I admittedly, too, I'm totally weird about the way I read things. Sometimes I just completely devour books, and I'm usually reading 3 or 4 at the same time. So I just pick up whatever strikes my mood. I have something I read before I go to bed, and I read murder mysteries before bed.
But I liked it good enough. Like, no, does it go super deep into developing these characters? Definitely not. Is it Harry Potter for adults? Absolutely not.
Anyway, you can find Pictures and Conversations, a rabbit hole book club podcast, anywhere you get your podcasts, or on our home website, rabbitholepodcasts.com.
Okay, we are back. So hey, everyone out there listening and or watching on YouTube, you should become a Patreon member, because our Patreon exclusive this week is, during the story that I'm about to tell you, Bear made a very interesting claim that they are possibly the biggest Fall Out Boy fan on the face of the planet. And so I'm going to put that to the test. Go to patreon.com/rabbitholepods. $3 a month will get you in the door, and you can check that out. Okay, so Bear, let's talk about this. Through a very, very, very generous donation from Patreon member Silent Partner,
very generous.
You were given tickets to go see your favorite band of all time, Fall Out Boy. They were here in Indianapolis. Well, they were in Noblesville, which is a suburb of Indianapolis. So basically, just for the story purposes, we're just going to say they were in Indianapolis. Because Silent Partner is very generous.
Very generous.
This person got you 2 tickets to go see Fall Out Boy. And you did immediately ask if I wanted to go. And I said to you, what did I say to you?
You said, no, I hate you. No, you said, you said, like, why don't you try and find one of your other friends, bud?
Because I thought, my thinking is, in your friend group, There's no way you're the only Fall Out Boy fan. So I was thinking either there's got to be somebody that like you would know who would probably rather go, that would probably more enjoy it than me. Because I'm only like a very, very, very casual fan. I just know their hits. I just know their radio songs. I just know their music videos. I don't know
Jason
like the deep
also
cuts.
falsely assumed that I have a large friend group outside of him, and it's not just 3 people in a ramshackle trench coat.
On top of each other. No, I really wanted to make sure that, like, you know, maybe one of you would have told one of your friends, and they were like, whoever would have been like, oh shit, I want to go, or oh, that's awesome, can I go, or whatever. I wanted to give you and this friend an opportunity to go. So I said, do that first. If for whatever reason you cannot find anyone to go with, I will go with you. And that's kind of ended up what happening. You told me that you couldn't find anyone who could go, either because they were working, they weren't available, they didn't want to go. Number of reasons your friends didn't want to go. So I was like, all right, I'll go with you. That's cool. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to just assume because it was done through a Patreon member of my podcasting network that I had to go. I wanted to make that clear. Like, you know, it didn't have to be me, but I ended up going. So, we went, the day of. You wanted to kind of hang out a bit before we go into the show. And you said, hey, Jason, think of a place that we can go to that we can hang out. Well, you said, let's go to a place that we can hang out, like Starbucks.
But
And
Jason doesn't like Starbucks.
I don't like Starbucks because I don't like coffee. I don't drink coffee drinks.
They have things that aren't coffee. I don't get coffee.
Oh my God. Everyone says that, but okay. No, I'm sorry. I got to go on this rant. No. Every time I say that, they're like, oh, this isn't a coffee drink. They give it to me. It's 100% a fucking coffee drink. It tastes like coffee.
You've had mine. You've had mine before. It is vanilla cream with vanilla beans with whipped cream on top. That's it.
Well, in any event, I don't really like a lot of stuff at Starbucks. They don't have food, and I wanted to eat something because what food does Starbucks have?
I get food there like every time I get it when I leave work.
Like what? I want to hear.
They have a whole bunch of like sandwiches and wraps, and like they have a bunch of bakery stuff like loaves of different types of breads and like those and like muffins and danishes and cookies and cake pops and shit.
Okay. So I wanted like a meal, you know, because at that point when you said this, I had not eaten yet, and I knew I wasn't going to eat until like after midnight. So I was like, I want to eat like food. So I suggested a place. For what it's worth, I now regret this looking back on this end of everything. Yeah. But at the time I thought it was a cool idea. I was like, hey, let's go to that place I talked about last week called Books and Brews, but it's the other location that's up north. That's by the concert place, the music center place. And you were like, okay. Now, I don't want to talk shit about this place because I do very much enjoy the place. But this location sucks. I'm sorry, Books and Brews. This location was terrible. The inside was weird.
Yeah.
I was not expecting, like, you walk in and it's like just tables and then shelves with games and Funko Pops, but there's no workers. And that threw me the way off. And so I'm like, okay. So we sit down at a table and then this part I got to get from your point of view. What was happening in this room that the first room we sat down?
Oh my God. I famously love children. I adore kids. I think they're great. It takes a lot for a child to annoy me especially to the point of wanting to say something to someone. Because I think Like, kids are cool. I get it. Like, you're a little thing and you're experiencing the world for the first time. Like, everything's exciting and everything's scary. Great. These fucking kids. I don't know what it was. It might just be because I'm starting new medication that makes me a little bit out of it. You know, I'm not sure what it was. But those children were so loud and touching everything. And were loud and touching everything. And it was like, oh my good God Almighty. I'm sick of these children. I almost wanted to leave. I was almost like, Jason, we're finding another place to sit.
So then I eventually discovered that if you go through this weird back door, then that back door leads to two different places. One goes to the bar, and then the other one is more general seating. And that's where we ended up because it was quiet.
Yeah.
Except for the music, but there was no kids. So we ended up sitting there. We had to, like, instead of like a waiter coming to our table, I had to walk up to the bar and place our order. And anytime that we needed something, I had to walk to this bar to get it. Like, they never once, except to drop off the food, but that was it, came to our table for anything. Not even for refills, not to check in on us. Like, it was just like, hey, you got to come to this bar and place your order. And then if you want more drinks, you got to come to us to get more drinks. And then the food, normally I like their food. This was like lacking as fuck. Like, the bread was dry. You didn't like the cheese.
I had a grilled cheese, and it was the worst grilled cheese I've ever had in my life. It was so disappointing.
Yeah, I know.
How do you fuck up a grilled cheese?
And I was so disappointed because I love this place. So I was just like upset. So, you know, and then of course we chose there to kill time. So we're just there chilling, talking, looking around, until you're like, hey, the door's open at like 3:30 or something. And it's like 2:45. We need to get going.
Here's the thing, listeners.
Oh yeah, this was all you with your schedule.
Yeah. So I'm a very organized, on time. Like, if there's an event, I'm half an hour early for it. And I know Ruoff, you need to get there because it was at Ruoff Music Center, and anyone in Indiana who's been there knows that place fills up fast. Yeah. So we need to leave to get to the parking at 3:30 because the parking lot opened at 4 p.m. So we wanted to get there half an hour early so we wouldn't have a super long line to sit in. The doors were supposed to open at 5 and the show would start at 6:30.
Yep.
So we get to the parking at 3:30 and they go ahead and let us in.
Yeah.
They don't
kind of early.
The parking lot closed.
Yeah.
So we were one of the first people to park.
Mm-hmm.
We were able to
get up and
get in line for the doors and get our merch at the merch booth.
At the merch, yeah.
They didn't have a 3X, which Jason called.
Yeah, no, they didn't.
But so, you know, we get our shirts.
So we get our shirts, and then we're in another line for like an hour.
Yeah.
Which we're like directly in the heat at this point, and we're kind of like starting to get miserable, but before we can get completely miserable, they let us in.
Yeah. So
but
we
then
find our seats.
We get our seats. Okay, wait. Now I gotta stop here. I gotta stop you here because we found our seats, and you know, it's no secret you're shorter than me, and so you were worried about people blocking your line of sight. So you were checking out the two seats that we had, and you were trying to figure out which one was better for you. Fate decided to jump in and give you the seat that you chose and give me the seat that I chose. And this is going to come up later. But so we both sit down, and the instant that I sit down, this is what happens for the YouTube people. I'm sorry, podcast listeners, but I'm like this, not like a full fall, but like the left half of the seat kind of gets lower than the right side. And I'm like, this is a problem. And this is probably going to come up later, but you know what? If everything happens on time, I won't be sitting much, so it'll be okay.
Yeah, so you know, Jason goes and gets drinks and stuff and comes back. Whatever. I also at this point find out that one of my exes is at this concert.
Yeah, that's right.
And just to skip ahead, I did end up getting confirmation that 4 of my exes were at this one Fall Out Boy concert.
And you didn't have anyone to take to a concert.
And that is way too many for one venue. There's only one of my exes that wasn't at that concert. That is
that's fucking nuts.
Horrific luck.
Fucking nuts.
But
okay.
So concert starts. Car is the first.
So the first
opener.
band comes out. So there was okay, wait, I gotta pause here too. I'm gonna show my age here because back in my day, we only had one, if not two, opening acts, and then the actual band came out. No, Fall Out Boy had 3 fucking opening acts.
I talked to my mom about this because multiple people in Rabbit Hole expressed like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. There are 3 openers. I asked my mom about this, and all the shows she's seen recently have had 3 as well.
Okay, but the key word is recently.
But she even remembers having 3 back at, like, she went to a concert back in, like, 2015 with 3. And she didn't think it was weird at the time. So I think it is just a difference in genre. Because
I guess
Fall Out Boy's openers were someone from Pete Wentz's label that used to be Decay Dance and is now DCD2. Or D2DC.
You just said a lot of things that I did not understand, but you know what? Let's just move on.
Then it was going to be Royal and the Serpent, and then Bring Me the Horizon.
Bring Me the Horizon.
For people who don't know, Bring Me the Horizon is a bigger band.
Yes.
There were people there, like one of my ex who I'm still friends with. She was there just to see Bring Me the Horizon.
Only to see this opening act. That was nuts to me. Because she did
stay for the whole show because she likes Fall Out Boy.
After that band went the stage, I'll say 15%. 15% of the people left. There was still a good crowd for Fall Out Boy, but
a lot of the people around us too were like clearly only there for Bring Me the Horizon. Like there was a girl in front of you who jammed out the Bring Me the Horizon.
Fuck, she was into it.
Nothing for Fall Out Boy.
Okay.
But so Car starts and then Car gets off stage and then everything shuts down. They have an announcement. They're like, hey, due to inclement, we're seeing lightning. Everyone needs to get off of the lawn and get under cover.
Into the, So they said that. Now, around that time, I went to go use the bathroom, and it was just drizzling. I wouldn't even call it like a drizzle. It was like a mist.
The problem is there was lightning. And
there was a touch of lightning. Now, one of my biggest fears is lightning. And I didn't even freak out at this lightning when I saw it. Like, I just was like, oh, there's lightning. Okay. I didn't think anything of it because I'm like, it's an outdoor venue, but we're under like a cover, like a big giant covering. And then there's a lawn seat, obviously. But then it's like, okay, if it rains, we're okay. We're underneath this thing. So I didn't worry about it. But no, they were like, oh, everyone, lawn, get into the thing right now. And we're going to delay all the bands. And so we're just sitting there. And I want to note the words sitting there, for like 45 minutes, maybe like an hour.
No, it was over an hour.
Wondering, well, you were worried, like you were
I was so
you went to the extreme and you're like, they're canceling the show. They're going to cancel. Fall Out Boy is going to leave. No. And I'm not going to see Fall Out Boy. Like
for
you
listeners,
were like,
Jason's making this sound like I was free. I was saying, I don't think they're going to cancel it. I don't want them to shorten it, but I also will say stuff that is the worst case scenario because if I think of nothing but the worst case, everything else seems better in comparison. So if I had been optimistic and said, oh, they're not going to cancel the show, and they did, or if they had shortened the show, that would seem worse than me just trying to say nothing's wrong. But if I say they're canceling the show, if they had to shorten the set, it would have sounded better. But what they ended up doing was just cutting Royal the Serpent.
One of the opening acts.
And then Bring Me the Horizon did his full set.
Okay.
And then Fall Out Boy did their whole set.
Okay. Now, in the time that we were waiting for the Bring Me the Horizon to come out, and they came out, they did like one song. My chair broke. Like completely. Like I'm sitting there and then suddenly my ass and my knee and my thigh is on the ground. And like I wasn't embarrassed because I knew this was going to happen. I had a feeling. I was like, this is going to break at some point. But if everything would have went normally, it might not have happened because I probably would have been standing around a certain point. But because everything was delayed, I ended up sitting there longer than I was really probably supposed to. And so by the time that opening act of the Bring Me the Horizon came on, that's when my chair broke. Now, here is where another a little panic thing happened, but I took control because this was my goal from the get-go. I'm here for Bear. Bear wants to see the show very badly. This is their favorite band of all time. Our Patreon member got us these tickets, for them. And my whole thing was to make sure they're okay. They get the show. If I don't get to see something, if I don't get to experience something, whatever, I'm not here. I'm just here to support Bear. I want Bear to see the show. I want them to experience everything. I want them to hear, see, whatever.
Because Jason knows how much I talk about Fall Out Boy.
So that was my whole goal tonight, was just to make sure they were taken care of. When this seat thing happened, there was nobody sitting next to Bear because we were seats 3 and 4. 1 and 2 was empty. So we shifted over, and then we had the conversation of, okay, what happens if the people who are in 1 and 2 show up? And I said, let's just cross that bridge when it happens, because then they might not ever show up. They might have forgot the concert.
Also,
they might have.
At this point, it's like 8:30, and this concert was started at 6:30. So
and the opening, the last opening act was starting. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're like, well, maybe they're just not coming.
Until they did.
And it was 2 old people.
I'm gonna get your story on this in a second. But so what I did was I said, okay, you Bear, you stay put. I'm going to go find a person that works here, and I'm going to go ask them what to do. Worst thing that can happen is they're going to put me somewhere else. They're either going to make me sit on the lawn. They're going to put me in a different chair. They're going to do something just for me. And that's what I was willing to do. Now, obviously, I wanted to be there with Bear. I wanted to experience this with them.
Yeah,
but
I didn't want him to do that.
But if it was like a decision and it was like, hey, only one of you can stay in these seats and the other has to go fucking on the roof of the building, I'm going on the roof of the building because I want them to see this show. So that's what I was willing to do. So I went and found a guy. I talked to him and I said, hey, man, my seat just broke. And the guy was like, show me your ticket. And I showed him the ticket. And he's like, okay, he was the guy that was checking the ticket stubs to make sure that people who were going in and out were actually supposed to be there. So he couldn't leave his post. So he had to wait till another guy to came by. And so I was with this guy for like 5 minutes watching him check all these tickets. And then eventually another guy did come by and he's like, hey, tell him your problem. So I tell this second guy, hey, my chair broke. This is where I was sitting. He's looking at my ticket. He's looking at me, and I could see like computing in his brain, like lawsuit, avoid a lawsuit. We don't want a lawsuit, avoid a lawsuit. So he goes, how many's in your party? And I go, it's me and my friend. And he goes, okay, I'm going to hook you guys up. He pulls out a wad of tickets, like the old school concert tickets, like the strip tickets. And then he starts like shuffling through them. And he goes, I'm going to get you guys really good seats. So he pulls out 2 tickets, hands them to me. And he's like, here, you guys just sit here. And it's hard to put into a conversation how much of an upgrade this was. Mm-hmm. We were like in the middle of the seating. We moved easily like another 200 feet closer to the stage.
Yeah.
And the stage was like maybe 500 feet from us. Like, I'm estimating all this, but we got way close to the stage.
Yeah.
To the point where like we didn't even really need the monitors that were showing. Like we could actually see the band like right there.
Yeah.
So that was fucking amazing.
It was great. The old people who seats 1 and 2, they were nice, but very clearly not there really for Bring Me the Horizon because they didn't even know who was opening. And then they seemed very judgmental that we were in their seats until I told them, I was like, my friend's chair broke. But
and you could have showed them. You could have been like, look, it's that seat right there.
Yeah.
You see that half the seat is on the ground? That's not supposed to be like that.
And then we got to move, which was so cool. But
yeah.
it was a
And
great
then-
concert. I cried a lot.
Bear cried.
I shot out my throat so bad.
Yeah, at the end of the night, your voice was really shot.
And I had my first day of work the next morning.
It was an amazing show. It was a lot of fun. As I've established, I'm not like the biggest Fall Out Boy fan. I just know their hits, radio songs, blah, blah, blah. Every single song that they did, though, even the ones that I didn't know, they fucking killed it. Like, there was not a bad song in the set. Like, everything sounded great. It was just wonderful to watch them. They had like set performances. They had a thing with the clock. They had the thing with this big giant dog head came out. You had explained to me the bit about the lights coming down to mimic playing in dive bars.
Yeah, it was great. They played my favorite song. That's kind of a deep cut. I've mentioned it at the mixtape part, but it's off of Folie à Deux, so it's not one of their like old albums, but it's still it's not like the most. It might be the least famous song off that album.
And didn't you tell me, because you keep up more with this than I do, that was kind of like the reason for this concert? Wasn't there like the whole thing like they wanted to kind of like more go back and play like older songs, lesser known songs? Like they played the hits, don't get me wrong. They did Dance Dance and Sugar We're Going Down and, you know, Thanks for the Memory. They did the hits. I think they did almost every song that I know, like from the radio and stuff. I think.
So Much for Stardust is an album very much based around like repetition and like this thing having a beginning and an end, you know, like So Much for Stardust starts with violins and ends with a choir kind of deal.
Okay.
But so in the concert, they kind of represent that, but they go back through, you know, because this is the 20th anniversary of their first album. So,
okay.
And of Patrick saying, you know, I'll take a semester off just to find out.
Boy, how did that work out for him? Did he go back to college?
I feel like it was a good choice.
Yeah, probably. But it was a great show. Oh God, it was wonderful. I had a blast. I was actually very grateful at the end of it that Bear like said I can come along and let me tag along, and I got to witness it and experience it, and I got to see my friend happy, and that always makes me happy.
Yeah, I had a good time. I'm glad you came with me.
I like to see my friends happy, and Bear was fucking ecstatic. Like, like the car ride home was like, they were just fooled. Like they were at like a 20 out of 10. Like, they were just like so excited, like gripping the steering wheel, like, oh my God, I can't believe they played this song. And then they did this song, and then the stage came down, and then the lights came on, and then the dog head, and I was like, yeah, it was fun.
Did you know that this song it's for this?
Explaining everything, and I was happy. I was very happy for them. It was awesome. I got to hear Fall Out Boy cover Crazy Train, and that was an interesting choice. I never thought I'd hear that in my life. So that was kind of cool. Yeah, it was a great show. So to Silent Partner, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We both had a great time. You do not need to do that again.
And now I got $50 of credit to my Live Nation account. Like I got an email. They gave me $50.
Oh, because of the seat?
I have no idea. I'm kind of thinking so. But because of that, I can now just straight up buy a ticket to the Front Bottoms in November for myself.
Oh, you didn't tell me that. Wow, that's cool. I didn't know that. That's neat.
Yes, thank you for breaking your seat.
It has to be because you're welcome. Me being fat did some good. Look at that.
But I'm going to go see the Front Bottoms now in November.
That's awesome. All right. That's cool, man. So yeah. All right. Well, with that said, I think it's time to wrap up the show.
Yes, sir.
Whatever with Jason Soto was hosted by me, Jason Soto, and this person who was last seen on an Amber Alert an hour ago, Bear.
What?
You can find me temporarily on Twitter at Famous Comedian at the moment. I still have a Threads account. I'm not doing anything with it, but you can go follow me there at I'm_famous comedian. You can email the show with any questions, comments, complaints, non-misgenderings of co-hosts I have to
Please.
whatever jasonsoto@gmail.com.
I use they, them pronouns.
Thank you.
It's also on our website.
It is, yes. Our Facebook group, that has real people and not bots, I swear, is at facebook.com/groups/rabbitholepod. Go check that out. And you can follow Rabbit Hole Podcast on Twitter at RabbitHP. I did give out my Be Real last week. I'll give it again. It's Rabbit Hole Pod. It seems like 6 days out of the week it goes off. I'm at work. So you're just going to see me try not to take pictures of very state sensitive things, which is just like random shit on my desk. So you'll see like my Diet Coke cans or like my pen. So if you want to see all that, follow me on Be Real at Rabbit Hole Pod. And as Bear mentioned, go to our website, rabbitholepodcast.com. They worked really hard on that website. You guys, please go check that out. You can find this podcast on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, and Google, and anywhere else you get high quality podcasts like this one. The mixtape intro song was made by a friend of the show, Lackey. Thank you so much, Lackey.
Thank you, Lackey.
It's a good song. You did a good job, Lackey. Thank you. The beginning and ending.
Listen to it.
Have you not heard the intro of the mixtape song? Wow.
I've never listened to an episode of whatever
I
all the way through.
We'll have to play that for you. The beginning and ending song is Liam Lynch's United States of Whatever from the album Fake Songs. Patreon members, you guys are fucking awesome. I love you guys. Thank you, Patreon members. Chris R. from AfterCredits.com. Thank you so much to Chris R. The Vern from Cinema Recall. Thank you so much to Vern. The concert ticket giving silent partner. Thank you so much to silent partner.
Thank you.
Carl. Thank you so much to Carl. Richard Kirkham. Thank you so much to Richard Kirkham. Bear. Thank you, Bear, for being a Patreon member. Sherry Coons. Thank you so much to Sherry Coons. Isabel, from the bottom of my heart, I apologize for Lisa last week forgetting who you are. She was going to make it up to you this week, but then she had to go gamble. So next week when she comes back, I'm going to make her make it up to you. So Isabel, thank you, and thank you. Brenda, thank you so much as well. Brenda's fucking cool. And Lackey, thank you so much to Lackey.
What the fuck, Lackey? Running the show.
If you want to be a badass like these guys, you can support us by going to patreon.com/rabbitholepods. $3 a month. Get you in the door. You can check out episodes before anyone else does. You know who's not a Patreon member? Vin Diesel. So you know what that means? You could be better than Vin Diesel at something by listening to this show before Vin Diesel can. I think that's worth the $3 right there. And to be better than Vin, you could be better at him at two things: acting and listening to this episode.
Damn, Soto.
So, go check that out. Patreon.com/rabbitholepods. Hey, that is going to do it for this episode. Bear, thank you so much, as always, for being
no problem. I'm happy
my co-host. You are awesome. Thank you. We make fun of each other, but we're super cool friends, and I'm very appreciative of Bear. Bear does so much for me, so I have to give you thanks.
He's like reading off a sheet of paper right now.
Thank you so much to my friend, insert name here.
No, you
I sure hope. I need a ukulele. No, I need a ukulele. Anyway, thank you all very much for listening and watching on YouTube. Please go check out the YouTube channel. Wash your goddamn hands and keep your head in the clouds and your feet in the mud. Adios. Copyright 2023 Rabbit Hole Podcasts, rabbitholepodcasts.com.